In the 2024 MLB draft, the Pirates take a 5-tool shortstop, and after just 1 year in the minors, is now the #1 prospect in baseball. Where in the first year of the minor league, hit for 20 home runs and over 60 stolen bases. Today we are going to be playing through the career of the #1 prospect in baseball, Konnor Griffin. Now if you guys enjoy the video and you guys want to see more career sims like this, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and let me know in the comments whose career you guys want to see me go through. Whether that's a prospect, a restart of someone's career in the MLB, or even a legend giving them a second chance in the MLB. Now here is Konnor Griffin inside of MLB The Show. Like I said, had a good hitting year to start off as an 18-year-old. Now one of the main reasons he was drafted was his fielding and his base running ability. The big question, of course, when he was drafted was that hit ability, getting on base, getting RBI, scoring, becoming that, 1 through 4 guy in the hitting lineup. I think he proved everybody wrong. Led all minors in WRC+. This guy is an absolute menace and deserves wholeheartedly to be the #1 prospect. Now, MLB The Show has him starting in the MLB on the opening day roster, and I think I agree. I think after spring training, if he performs well, even if he performs decent, I think he is going to be on the day 1 opening roster. But let's go ahead and hop into opening day. Let's see how he performs. And here we are at opening day at Lone Depot Park as the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to take on the Miami Marlins. And Konnor Griffin is going to make his MLB debut. All right, and here we go with Konnor Griffin at the plate taking on the ace, Eury Perez. His hitting ability early on as an 18-year-old is going to struggle a little bit, I think, in the MLB. Hopefully, he's able to transition over the season. But that fielding ability, that on base, I could see him in some pinch running situations because he's still got Nick Gonzalez on the roster. And I could see him being more of a pinch runner, maybe to start off the career if he doesn't start off hot at the plate. All right, we got a 2-2 count for Konnor Griffin in his opening debut at bat. And he dots a 12-6 curve. Okay, to be honest, I thought that was diving way lower. That's okay. You don't always start off hot, and that's okay. Because now we got a runner on. 2 down at the top of the 5th. Konnor Griffin looking for his first hit of his career. And Eury pops it up just a little under the zone. Unfortunately, does not. He got on it just a little bit late on it. And Konnor Griffin goes 0 for 2. Let's see him at his next at-bat. All right. Konnor Griffin in a good situation here. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Pirates put up a run going against Andrew Nardi. Huge opportunity for Konnor Griffin to get his first hit, maybe first RBI as well. Konnor Griffin gets it down. That's going to be in the gap. Konnor Griffin rounding second. That's going to score 2. Is this going to be a triple on his opening? Konnor Griffin gets in at third base. That base running ability. Konnor Griffin's first hit as a Pirate is a 2 RBI triple. And unfortunately, it does not look like that's going to amount to much as Konnor Griffin coming up to the plate. First pitch swinging, gets through. It looks like it's going to be all for nothing as the Marlins look like they're going to take opening day. And they absolutely do. Konnor Griffin, though, 2 for 3, 2 for 4. Yeah, 2 for 4 with a triple and a single, 2 RBIs. I think that's a wonderful debut for the kid. All right, we're going to sim through the rest of the season for the Pirates, and we're going to see how Konnor Griffin performs. Hopefully he can stay in the MLB and succeed at the highest level. And we have come to the end of Season 1 of Konnor Griffin's career. Pirates did not make the playoffs in any sort of the way. The Pirates finished the bottom of the NL Central at 72-90. Still trying to develop those prospects. Haven't really brought a ton of guys in. They brought in Brandon Lau to start this year, and it feels like it really didn't make that much of a difference as they're still finishing 18 games under 500. Konnor Griffin up to a 74 overall and still inside of the MLB, so that is good to see. As I say that, he played about 56 games this year, so it looked like he played a lot of games in the AAA, which is totally fine. As a young guy, that makes a lot of sense. He batted .224 with a .260 OBP with a .392 slugging, had 12 stolen bags, 42 strikeouts, 3 home runs, 3 triples, 9 doubles, and 32 hits. So not the most insane season, but as a rookie at 18 years old, he is obviously developing. His hitting's only going to get better. Looks like he's going to be a whole field hitter, being able to hit across the field, really good fielding and great speed. For an 18-year-old, I can't complain. This was a great year for him. Now, the hope is that he'll continue developing over the offseason, and then coming into next year, we'll have hopefully over 100 games in the MLB. And the hope is that Pittsburgh trusts Konnor Griffin to be the future at shortstop for them and don't sign anybody and hurt potentially his playing time on the field. The Mariners end up winning Season 1. against the Cubs in 6 games in the World Series. So Mariners are officially the World Series champions. Let's go ahead and sim the offseason. Let's head to year 2. And here we are at the beginning of season 2. Konnor Griffin looks like so far he will be playing in the MLB. He still got to compete with Nick Gonzalez for time on the field. I hope that the Pittsburgh Pirates realize that their future is Konnor Griffin and they need to get him out there as much as possible. But we'll see how they decide to play it out. The Pirates, though, made some moves. They end up picking up Luis Arraez, a huge contact guy getting on base for them, which is massive. They need that. They end up getting Hunter Harvey as well as Justin Lawrence. A couple good pen guys for them. Nothing too insane, but some solid pickups, some solid pieces. Arraez could be a solid leadoff guy for them. Hopefully we can see them maybe push a wild card this year, give Konnor Griffin his first taste of the playoffs, and give Skeens that as well, because God knows he needs it. All right, let's go ahead and sim to the end of the year and see how our boy does. We've reached the end of year 2, where a lot of the same has happened across the board. We take a look at the Pirates. They finished bottom of the NL Central again at 71-91. Just didn't make any moves to really make that push. Pitching has gotten significantly better for them, but still hitting is an absolute struggle for them. Now finishing 20 games under 500 instead of, I believe it was 18 last year. But that's not necessarily why we're here. We're here for, let's find him, Konnor Griffin, who is on fire. He's now up to a 78 overall, so he's making some big jumps. I believe he's probably going to be the all-time starter. He played 80 games this year, so a few more than last year. Not quite the 100 that I was hoping for, but stats are basically identical. But with the more games played, he had 6 more doubles, still 3 triples and 3 home runs. Not a ton of RBIs, which I don't like to see. He did walk a few more times, struck out almost double, but then again, he almost played the double amount of games. 219, 258 OBP with a 325 slugging. So he's getting on base, just not really hitting a lot of doubles, extra base hits. Interesting, I didn't take a look last time at fielding. So yeah, this is where he is going to thrive, is his fielding. He's bad. Fielding percentage of 982, so not making a lot of mistakes, which is huge. And negative 0.6 WAR is it's not great. It's not great. Let's just be honest with you. He is not doing a lot when it comes to hitting the baseball to start his career, but he's only 19. He's only going to get better. Just looking at his pure stats, his hitting will continue to improve as the years go by. He's still super young. He's still on his rookie contract. He's still got multiple years of arbitration left. He's got a long time to succeed. But the Pirates didn't make the playoffs again, so we're just going to go ahead and sim to the start of year 3. And here we are at the beginning of year 3, and the Pirates have made some big moves. I say big, they're not massive, but some definite run support has hit the airways. Teoscar Hernandez is now a Pittsburgh Pirate, someone who could potentially hit 20 to 30 home runs in a season for you. That's something that the Pirates desperately need. They also got Danny Jansen, another guy that doesn't hit a ton of home runs, but can get on base for you and is also a solid defensive catcher. Jorge Polanco, who's in his latter half of his career, but a nice switch hitter, another guy that can hit 20 to 30 home runs in a season for you. So a lot more power has come to the Pirates. Konnor Griffin, 78 overall. Not a big power guy, obviously, but a great fielder. Someone that's probably going to be in the back half of the order. All we can ask for is with this extra run support that he can continue to improve, still be a great fielder, and maybe help lead them to a wild card spot. But one thing I did forget to mention, just because it didn't come to fruition, is that Konnor Griffin did not win Rookie of the Year. He did not win any rookie awards. He actually hasn't won an award yet, which is totally fine, but it's something to keep in mind if people were wondering. Here we are at the end of year 3, and as to be expected, once again, the Pirates stunk. This time they weren't the bottom of the NL Central. They tied for the bottom at 68-94. Still not what you like to see, but they are improving. Pitching is still good. Just hitting, well, it looks like it did jump up a little bit, just still cannot put it all together. And then we head over to Konnor Griffin, who's now up to an 82 overall. He is slowly improving. He played 69 games this year at a 215. However, he had a 282 OBP and a little bit of a higher slugging. So 14 doubles, 7 home runs this year, so a nice improvement with more RBIs. He walked 22 times. Fielding percentage was about the same, but hey, this time he had a positive WAR. It was only a 0.9, but that's a 0.9 WAR. We will take that. That is a positive improvement on the year. It does look like they did use a minor league option for him, so at some point in the year, he did go and play minor league ball. I wonder if he was just struggling at the time or whatnot, but he did play AAA. But it looks like he has improved. His power has gone up a little bit in those few games that he played. An overall improvement, though, from Konnor Griffin. and hopefully we can see an improvement out of the Pirates. All right, we have reached the start of season 4, and some big moves have happened. Nothing for Konnor Griffin, but as you can see, Oneil Cruz is gone. He is now officially a Blue Jay, signed a huge extension with the Blue Jays, so the Pirates have now gotten worse. But to be fair, in that replacement, we got TJ Friedl on a 1-year deal, $23 million. You know, he can hit the ball pretty hard. We got Anthony Santander, another good, solid power guy. 2024 hit 44 home runs. Last couple years hasn't done too hot, but a nice 3-year deal for him. Josh Jung we signed. Romy Gonzalez. Signed Jesus Sanchez. I mean, we definitely added some players. Did it replace the run loss for Oneil Cruz? Probably not. But this just gives Konnor Griffin more of the opportunity to, you know, move higher up in the depth chart, potentially higher in the batting order, and do really well this year. So let's find out. And as we've reached the end of season 4 and the Chicago Cubs sweeping the Mariners in the World Series, which is the opposite effect of what happened in year 1 where the Mariners won, the Pirates actually performed a lot better. They finished 75-87, still 12 games under 500, which isn't great, but a more consistent record, and I think that shows for a couple reasons. One, I think the pitching was very good this year. However, Konnor Griffin played a full season, 142 games. He batted .245 with a .303 OBP, .392 slugging, and a .695 OPS. He had 11 home runs, 7 triples, and 31 doubles on 130 hits, 49 RBIs, which isn't great for the load, but he's improving, and that's what's important here. Fielding still about 98% on the fielding. WAR is a 2.4, which we're improving. We are getting better. Is it amazing? No, but it is better. But this looks like the start of a breakout next year for Konnor Griffin, who's now an 85 overall. And just in year 4, who actually, funny enough, is the best hitter on this team, or at least the best overall fielder on the team, where you have the rest of the top 4 being just pitchers, all starting pitchers. And that's where the Pirates did improve was in pitching. One of the better pitching teams in the MLB. But it does seem like the Pirates and Konnor Griffin are on a rise right now. Hopefully they can make some good moves here in the offseason to potentially actually make the playoffs. Konnor Griffin still has about 3 years of arbitration left before he's officially a free agent. So he's going to be sticking around a little bit. Hopefully the Pirates re-sign them and have him in their long-term plans. But who knows with the way that the organization does their players. They let Oneil Cruz go for absolutely nothing. Let's go ahead and head on to season 5. Well, I think Paul Skeens has had enough, and that really puts a hole in for the Pirates' plans. Skeens signs a 6 years, $270 million deal to the Yankees, and honestly, I can't blame him. They didn't really give him a whole lot of support on the hitting side, with Konnor Griffin being their best fielder to date, and probably one of their better hitters, which is sad. So that really puts a hole in the Pirates' rebuild, as now they just lose one of the best, if not the best pitcher in baseball. Now I'm really interested to see how they deal with Konnor Griffin, especially with those few years of arbitration left. Are they going to trade him to maybe pick up some more prospects, or maybe trade up and try to get some better names on the team? You know, as I say that, the Pirates trade for Jarren Duran, one of the best left fielders in baseball, great hitter, someone who could potentially get a 30-30 season in my opinion. Trade them for 2 young prospects, and Jarren Duran's officially a Pirate. So just adding to that run support. Pitching, I think, is going to take a little bit of a dive, but maybe not as much as I think maybe people may think. We just lose out on one of the best pitchers in baseball. Alrighty, year 5 for Konnor Griffin. The team for the Pirates obviously take a huge hit with Skeens gone, but of course we add Jarren Duran. We actually bring back Dennis Santana. He was gone for a few years, jumping around at different teams, but he is back in Pittsburgh on a nice 2-year deal. But for the most part, the Pirates have not really improved that much. I would be surprised if they finished with the same record they did last year. I think they're going to perform worse. I hope not. They have great pitching. I just don't know if the hitting support, unless Konnor Griffin really breaks out this year, I don't know if the Pirates really have what it takes to make the playoffs this year. We've reached the end of year 5 for Konnor Griffin's career. And of course, as it happened, you know, they didn't finish last. They finished 4th in the NL Central, 72-90, 18 games under 500. They have not had a positive record since Konnor Griffin has been moved up, which isn't his fault, I don't think. They are just a terrible hitting team. Pitching is about average. They have great defense, but just cannot get on base and cannot score runs. However, Konnor Griffin's up to an 88 overall. His hitting stats have gone up considerably. He's honestly a pretty solid contact guy with some decent power. One of the best fielders in the MLB. And the numbers show 254 average, 332 OBP, 416 slugging. He had 17 home runs this year, so a nice little improvement from last year. 7 triples, 33 doubles, 153 hits. He played 6 more games this year, 748 OPS. He had 30 stolen bags, so his first 30 stolen base season, almost a 30-20 season. Fielding jumped up a little bit too. He's fielding 992. That actually might have him in the race for a Gold Glove. And almost a 5 WAR. We are significantly improving. Konnor Griffin is starting to become an actual offensive asset. Problem is, the rest of his team is not, and he's still got a few years left on ARB, $6.8 million this year. So 2 more seasons after this, and he'll be a free agent, but I don't know if he makes it that far. I'm going to be honest with you. The team keeps struggling. I wouldn't be surprised because of how good he is. They trade him for some assets because he's now the second best player on this team. I could very well see him being traded, or unless they decide to actually make some improvements. Season 6, 23-year-old Konnor Griffin, and the Pirates improved but also didn't. They lost out on Jared Duran. They actually traded him to the Orioles. But we did pick up Alec Boehm in replacement. Do with that as you will. We also got Rhett Lauder. Nice guy, pretty solid starter. Bubba Chandler's still going to be our ace, but Konnor Griffin's still the best fielder, at least on our team. Maybe not hitter. Got Andy Pajes. Looks like we got it looks like the Pirates actually got a rookie, Eddie Cordova. 25 years of age, has not played any MLB yet. No service time there, but it looks like he's going to be ready to call that a 79 overall left fielder. This guy looks like he's going to progress quickly. I said, I'm really worried for Konnor Griffin here. If we do not have a great start of the year, I can easily see him gone. We'll see, though. I'm not sure. Pirates have made some really odd decisions in the last couple of years, but hopefully with the addition of Alec Boehm, maybe we could get close to 500. We have not even sniffed it yet. We have not been close. Maybe like 7 or 8 games, I think we were. Let's go ahead and sim through the year. We've reached the end of the season, and surprisingly, Pirates may have finished the bottom, but this is the best season they've had. Only 10 games under 500. I mean, still not great, but it is actually an improvement for them, considering all the guys that they've lost along the way. But Konnor Griffin now up to a 91 overall. He has now reached superstar status. And I mean, the numbers show it. I mean, not a significant improvement, but more doubles, 17 home runs. He has continued every year with 7 triples. He just loves 7 triples every single year. Basically, almost the same season he had last year, which is not a bad year whatsoever. 427 slugging, 754 OBS, 993 fielding percentage, which is a slight improvement over last year. 5.2 WAR, so every year we're improving the WAR. We like this. I mean, he's becoming a bona fide starter. He's only 23. He's still got at least another like 10 plus years in the bag. But the Pirates didn't make the playoffs. And for the first time ever, Konnor Griffin placed 3rd in Gold Glove voting. Just missing out behind Lindor, which was basically a tie. You could argue he's maybe 2nd, but Ezequiel Tovar wins it again with a 996 fielding percentage. So hopefully we can see Konnor Griffin winning a Gold Glove in the next year or two. He's definitely got the stats to prove it. Well, we're in year 7 for Konnor Griffin's career at the age of 24. And I mean, he's the best he's ever been. And I don't know what the Pirates were thinking, but they offloaded pretty much every starting pitcher. Bubba Chandler. I think I saw Chase McDermott gone. But in replacement, they added some more hitters. We got Kyle Teal. Alec Boehm is still here. We got Lawrence Butler, A's legend. Lawrence Butler, so that's dope. Reed Bartley, Tyler O'Neill's here. Got a nice new rookie, Wyatt Sanford. Richie Queza, another rookie. So we decided to really switch up the kind of mentality for this team and really go into hitting. We'll see if it actually affects. I don't know how good this team will actually be. But one thing to note, this is Konnor Griffin's last year of arbitration. So next year he will be a free agent. And my guess is that he's either going to be traded at the deadline or he will not be a Pittsburgh Pirate next year. I would be shocked. And I predicted it. I knew this was going to happen. Konnor Griffin has officially been traded to the Texas Rangers for a few different prospects. Lonnie Madsen, Bonito Moya, and Darren Chandler. Konnor Griffin officially finishing out his final year of his arbitration deal with the Texas Rangers, and then will become a free agent after that. But Konnor Griffin, welcome to Texas. Now, this Texas Rangers roster is significantly better than the Pirates. And it's funny because Rhett Lauder, who was also a Pittsburgh Pirate the year before, is now a part of the Rangers. Maybe gave him a little hit. Hey, maybe you should trade for him. And I appreciate it. We got Pico Armstrong, one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball. Junior Caminero, Kumar Rocker, Bo Naylor, Just a really solid team. Corey Seager at the age of 49. He's 36, but you know what I mean. He's basically pushing 90. And since we're here, before Konnor Griffin starts his career with the Rangers, let's look at how he was doing. 268 and 335. So he actually made a nice little jump. Already had 13 home runs in 85 games. Has the opportunity. He's pushing pace for almost 30 home runs. 20 doubles, 33 walks, 89 strikeouts, 15 stolen bases. Could see a potential 30-30 season if he really pushes through. 461 slugging, 992 fielding, 3.3 WAR. I mean, he is definitely improving. The Rangers are 47 and 41, so they are positive. They could be pushing a wild card spot or potentially winning the division. Hopefully this edition of Konnor Griffin gets there. And by the grace of the gods, the Texas Rangers and Konnor Griffin have made the playoffs. They finished 82 and 80. They almost didn't go 500. And Konnor Griffin now up to a 94 overall. One of the stars of the Texas Rangers. I mean, his hitting stats continue to prove he is an insane fielder. Probably one of the best, if not the best fielders. Looking at his stats, 273, 342 OBP with 36 doubles, 25 home runs, 37 stolen bases. He was so close to a 30-30 season, 9 triples. You can instantly tell just putting him on a better team made him play so much better. 994 fielding, and I see a little awards tab that wasn't there before. What award did he win? We're going to find out here soon enough. He finished second this year to Konnor Griffin, and his mortal rival Ezekiel Tovar takes the Gold Glove. So what award did he win? He made the All-Star team this year. Okay, so 2031, Konnor Griffin made the All-Star team for the first time in his career. Hasn't gotten that Gold Glove yet. Still got Ezekiel Tovar, but more importantly, he is in the playoffs. And their first series up is against the Rangers. Let's go ahead and hop in for his first playoff appearance. Konnor Griffin's first appearance in the playoffs, taking on a division rival, Seattle Mariners. He's going to be going up against Cade Anderson with a 13-12 record, 3.38 ERA. And they have Konnor Griffin actually leading off, which is great to see considering he was batting like 8th or 9th for the Pirates to start his career. He is now the leadoff. I gotta say, him in a Rangers uni looks so fire. He looks like he could be the future of the Texas Rangers. Now the question is, do they re-sign him after this year? We will have to come to find out. As he hits that ball deep into left field, he threw that right down the middle. Konnor Griffin starts off his playoffs with a double, getting the Rangers a man in scoring position. Now we head to the second, 2 outs, a runner on second for Konnor Griffin, who's already got a hit in the playoffs. Konnor Griffin looking to get his first RBI. Konnor Griffin swings. That's going to be deep, but it's going to be a fly out. Can he maybe get a little rally going? 1 for 2 on the night. And he swings on an inside fastball. He's a little bit behind it. And that's going to be a 1-pitch out. That is not great. All right, top of the 8th. 3-6 ball game now. Going against Cole Sands. Just trying to get a runner on here to see if we can make the comeback. The 1-2. That's a perfect swing over into center field, and that's a base hit for Konnor Griffin, leading it off for the Rangers and giving him an opportunity, and the Rangers an opportunity to take this game. And it does not look like they were able to capitalize, as the Mariners will take game 1 of the wild card. But Konnor Griffin 2 for 4 with a double and a run. You can't say much about his first playoff appearance. That was pretty damn good. All right, now we got to see, can the Rangers win the next 2 games and move on into the playoffs? Let's send the next game. They do. They win game 2. All right, we're moving on to game 3. Rangers have an opportunity to move on in the playoffs. Can they do it? They do not. They lose 5-8. And the Rangers are unfortunately going home in the wild card. However, Konnor Griffin did get a little bit of playoff action where he batted .250 at 12 at-bats, 3 runs, no home runs, but he did get a stolen base. Not a bad debut for the playoffs for Konnor Griffin. However, he is going to be a free agent at the end of this year. Will he stay with the Rangers or sign a mega contract somewhere else? That's what we got to find out. And there we have it. Konnor Griffin decides to stay in the AL West and head to Houston as he signs a 12-year, $395 million deal. That's going to put him till he's 37, so this basically is a contract for the rest of his career. He is now a Houston Astro, and hopefully he can see some playoff success down in Houston. Beginning of year 8 for Konnor Griffin, he is the leader of the Houston Astros with this huge mega deal that's going to push him onto the team past 2041. Now with him, he's got Wyatt Langford, another great outfielder, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Yanier Diaz, Gavin Williams, Xavier Nenes, lots of generated guys, lots of solid pitching as well as we have Cody Bellinger and then Jarren Duran, who is 35 in AAA. I don't know if he's going to get much time on the main roster, but he is here. So also got Bryson Stott. A lot of these guys are older now. 36-year-old Cody Bellinger. This team, pitching-wise, says that they're the worst in the MLB in pitching, but hitting the ball, we are a lot better. First in power. So hopefully that's going to be good enough to push us through the playoffs. We have reached the end of year 1 with the Houston Astros, and I have some unfortunate news. The Astros at 81-81 did not make the playoffs, finishing bare 500. Unfortunately, did not have the pitching talent to make it. Missing out on the wild card by 4 games to the Orioles and the Guardians. Just could not get it done in that latter half of the year. It doesn't help that Wyatt Langford got hurt, but Konnor Griffin up to a 95 overall and another star-studded season for him. 284 average, 354 OBP with a 486 slugging, 10 triples, 23 home runs, got walked 70 times and 31 stolen bases, 992 fielding, still one of the best fielders in the MLB, 7.1 WAR, just constantly improving, and he did make the All-Star game this year, which is awesome. So another back-to-back All-Star appearances for Konnor Griffin. But going forward, we're going to sim to the end of each year. Unless anything major changes, we want to see how he performs at the end of every year. At the end of year 9, the Houston Astros are back in the playoffs as they finished the year 88-74, tied with our old team, the Rangers. And Konnor Griffin having another phenomenal year. A little bit of a downtick when it comes to averages. And not as many triples this year, but 27 home runs, 84 RBIs, 63 walks, 34 stolen bases. So close to that 30-30 season. 807 OPS. Fielding-wise, a 995. That might be good enough for the Gold Glove. And Konnor Griffin wins his first Gold Glove in 2033. But more importantly, the Houston Astros are in the playoffs, taking on the old team, his old team, the Rangers. They win Game 2. Can they beat the Texas Rangers and move on? And yet again, Konnor Griffin cannot make it out of the wild card as he loses to the Texas Rangers 2-1. And Konnor Griffin is sent to Cancun for another year. And at the end of year 10, Konnor Griffin still at 95 overall, finishing about the same as he did last year. 263 average with a 332 OPS, 417 slugging. Not as many home runs, 3 triples, 42 doubles, 60 walks. Pretty similar season as he had last year. 994 fielding. I mean, he is still an absolute fielder. He did not win the Gold Glove this year. It's probably Ezekiel Tovar coming back for revenge. But it seems like he's kind of lining out to where he normally is going to play. Hopefully he can keep up that 20 home runs. He did have 30 stolen bases, but overall not a bad year at all for Konnor Griffin. I also realized too, he did not make the All-Star team this year. He made it the last 3 seasons. He did not make it this season. Just missed out on the cut. But better, they did make the playoffs. They were 3 seed, 81-81. Just the AL West was terrible. Every team was just terrible. And the Astros weren't great. We finished 500. They finished 500 with teams in the wild card winning 91 games. That is insane. But they are the 3 seed taking on the Minnesota Twins in the wild card. Can Konnor Griffin and the Astros finally get out of this wild card and have Konnor actually experience some real playoff time? They win Game 1, 8-0. Can they win Game 2? They absolutely can, and they are moving on to the ALDS. It only took 10 years, but Konnor Griffin is officially moving on to the divisional series, taking on the Detroit Tigers. Game 1 goes to Detroit. This is a best of 5. Hey, Game 2, Houston takes. Game 3 goes to the Detroit Tigers. Can we push it to a Game 5? We absolutely can. We have to play Game 5. The ALDS Game 5. Houston versus Detroit. Konnor Griffin led Astros and the Max Clark led Tigers. This series has been electric. Can Konnor Griffin lead his team to the ALCS? Bubba Chandler going to be pitching tonight. Former Pirate along with Konnor Griffin. This has history written all over it. Konnor Griffin batting .222 in the playoffs. Can he lead his team? Konnor Griffin down the line hits the ball hard, but unfortunately could not get anything going there at his first at bat. And we're in a crazy situation. Bases loaded, with 2 outs. Konnor Griffin up again with the potential to take the lead against his former teammate Bubba Chandler. This is a huge opportunity for Konnor and the Astros. 2-1 count to Konnor Griffin. Can he get this ball down? That ball's going down the line. Is that going to get down? It absolutely is. And he misses it at the wall. He's going 3. The play at the plate. It's a 3 RBI triple for Konnor Griffin. Nearly the best case scenario. Back up Konnor Griffin, top of the 4th, runner on first. Looking to push the lead a little bit farther. As he slings at a completely inside pitch, is that going to get down? Oh my God, that ball gets down. I definitely didn't mean to swing at that, but it works out anyways. And now the Astros are down again, 5-4. And Griffin's going to ground out to shorts. And the Tigers may end up taking this. Konnor Griffin in another bases-loaded situation with 2 outs at the top of the 7th. Konnor Griffin being put through clutch hell right now, needing to give his team an opportunity. And I swing at a pitch so high up in the zone, I absolutely choked it. That may be the season for the Astros, but it's not. 2 for 5, top of the 10th, leading off is Konnor Griffin. The Astros save our season, and now we have an opportunity to potentially get a runner on for the Astros to win it. A 3-0 count to Konnor Griffin here. He may be taking a walk. And that was pretty meatball-y. Didn't get the greatest contact, but he gets on regardless. We will take it. Konnor Griffin is on first at the top of the 10th, nobody out. And that does lead to a run, and the Houston Astros are heading to the ALCS. It is crazy. In the first year that Konnor Griffin gets out of the wild card, they are heading all the way to the ALCS. Keep in mind, they were 81-81. They had no reason to be here, but we are heading to the final series of games before the World Series. And it looks like the Astros are going to be taking on the Blue Jays in the ALCS. The Blue Jays never know when to quit. They're always keeping their team up. Let's go ahead and start simming through the series. This is a best of 7. They lose game 1, but we win game 2, tied up. Game 3 we win. We're up 2-1. It is now 2-2. They lose game 5. We're going to a game 6. Can the Astros clutch? They cannot. They lose in 6 games to the Blue Jays, and now the Blue Jays are taking on Colorado in the World Series. Absolutely devastating for Konnor Griffin. His deepest playoff run yet. After a pretty solid season, we go on to year 11. At the end of year 11, the Astros do not make the playoffs. They finished 80-82, 1 game worse than last season. Unfortunately, they didn't have the Mickey Mouse luck that they had last year. 20 home runs, 69 RBI, 70 walks, but a 292 average and 360 OBP isn't a huge jump, but it is significant with 191 hits. He was just getting on base more, 839 OPS, 990 fielding, also 28 stolen bases. Another really good year from him. Definitely not falling off in any sort of the way. Also did not make the All-Star team with this. The All-Stars must be insane, but unfortunately didn't make the playoffs. We head to next year. End of year 12, Astros are just mint. They keep finishing right around 500 every season. But Konnor Griffin moves up to a 96 overall. The rest of the team is just cold as all hell. Konnor Griffin, another solid year, and actually the closest. This might have been his best season ever. 285 with a 354 OBP, but 29 home runs and 39 stolen bases. Almost a 30-40 season. He's so close to the 30-30. I want him to hit it. With a 997 fielding, I think we all know what that means. 881 on the stool with an 8.4 WAR. His best year by far. And he wins a Silver Slugger and a Gold Glove. 2-time Gold Glover and Silver Slugger for Konnor Griffin. I think his best hitting year by far. Unfortunately, his team is just hot garbage. But great to see Konnor Griffin doing that. Let's head on to year 13. Hold the phone! What the hell happened? I'm over here scrolling TikTok because I'm like, okay, I've just got to sim through this year. And Konnor Griffin gets traded back to the Rangers with 7 years left on their deal. I know the Astros were doing terrible, but it's clear that they were doing so bad they were willing to just move on from me to allow me to go back to a winning team, trade for a bunch of prospects, and Konnor Griffin is officially back on the Texas Rangers. I mean, he was having a pretty good year. We're 100 games in. He's got 14 home runs, 42 RBIs. 273, 360, maybe not as good as potentially last year when it came to like power hitting, but like, damn, they wanted to be gone. I just happened to catch it. All right, Konnor Griffin, welcome back to the Rangers. Well, it's clear adding Konnor Griffin to the team did not get them where they needed to be. They only finished 8 games above the Rangers at 77-85. They struggled towards the latter half of the year. I wonder if someone got hurt, maybe? I mean, there we go. Fred Chasen, dislocated shoulder. A catcher got hurt, but nothing else really. But Konnor Griffin, the top of the team. How did he finish to end the year? 259 average, 349 OBP. So on base about the same, a little less on the average. A pretty solid year, maybe a small step down, but nothing insane. Another just great year for him. No All-Star appearances again. It's crazy he has not been back to an All-Star game. But unfortunately, Rangers with the trade do not make the playoffs. So we send him to another year. We're here at the end of year 14 for Konnor Griffin, and the Texas Rangers are the 3 seed. They finished 87-75, which is a solid record across the board. Nothing insane, but seemed to perform pretty well in the AL, excluding maybe the Tigers or the Rays. But looking at the stats for this year, 281, 354 OBP, so definitely one of his better hitting years, especially from last year. 22 bombs, 30 stolen bases, just so close to the 30-30. I wanted so bad for him. 67 walks, 842 OPS, and then it's actually his second best OPS on 842, which is nice. This year he did make the All-Star team. Apparently the other years, even he kind of had a little drop off, but you are seeing a little bit of regression. He is 31, year 14. Come to expect it a little bit, but still at pretty much at the top of his game. Still one of the best shortstops in the MLB. We're gonna head sim quickly through the first wild card. Can we make it to the ALDS? Game 1, we lose game 1, and we lose game 2. Just like that, the Blue Jays knock us out once again, and Konnor Griffin cannot even get close to an ALCS, unfortunately. We head to the next season. And at the end of year 15, the Texas Rangers have had the best season they've had in a couple years, 91-71. I don't know if he's been over 90 wins since he's played. Konnor Griffin, a phenomenal year. This is as closest to him batting 300, him batting 299 with a 373 OBP, 506 slugging, 22 home runs and 17 stolen bases, 12 triples. Is that a career high for him? That absolutely is a career high. 12 triples, 45 doubles, 986 fielding. Had a few more errors this year, so I don't think he's going to be winning Gold Glove. But a 6.8 WAR, one of his better seasons for sure. And this year, he also gets another Silver Slugger award, as well as he does make another All-Star appearance. So another phenomenal year, maybe one of his better hitting years, maybe not power-wise, but just simply getting on base and, driving in runs, 82 RBIs, might be a career high for him as well. And while he is regressing a little bit in the speed and fielding, contact goes up a little bit too. We like to see that. All right, yet again, inside the wild card here, can we beat out the Tigers and move on to the ALDS? We lose game 1. We win game 2. We have a shot here. ALDS time. ALDS for the Rangers. And it looks like we're going to be taking on our division rival, my favorite team, the Oakland Athletics. The Athletics this is like 2039, so hopefully it's the Las Vegas Athletics by then. We lose game 1. Do not tell me we get swept by the A's. We win game 3. Is there a comeback on the rise? There is absolutely a comeback on the rise. It'll be the first time in Konnor Griffin's career, and they lose 13-3. Who was pitching? Tom Clark, buddy, get the hell off my team. We head to the next season. Okay, well, I completely missed this. I accidentally clicked through it. I saw his name for a half a second. Konnor Griffin has been moved to the Brewers for Mark Shearer and Todd Beck. Couple pitching, looks like pitching guys. That's why the Rangers are 39-53. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. They have a solid roster. I don't know what happened. Let's go ahead. We're switching over to the Brewers, and he's definitely regressing a good bit, and it does show in his stats. He is not, he's had a little bit of a drop off as of late. Still 13 home runs, 4 triples, 39 walks in 92 games, but he is on a new team. He is on the Brewers, and the Brewers are top of the division at 55-38, so this only adds to their team support. But he is back in the same division as the Pirates where he once began. Let's go to the rest of the year. And as we reach the end of the 2040 season, the Brewers have made the playoffs. They are the 4th seed, taking on the Cincinnati Reds and the 5th seed. They finished 92-7 70, tied with the Pirates, the team that I started on. Let's take a look here. Konnor Griffin is hurt. He's out 1 to 2 weeks of the shoulder pull, so he should be back. Well, then again, he's on the AAA roster. That makes me think he may not be back for the playoffs. We'll see if he's on the 40-man roster. I'm not sure, but we're going to go through the wild card. If they make it, he should be back for the next series. Let's find out. We're going to go through the wild card here. They win game 1. Can they win game 2? We go to a game 3 against the Reds. Well, it doesn't even matter because they lose to the Reds in the wild card. Anyways, Brewers go home after trading for Konnor Griffin. And Konnor Griffin, yet again, fortunately is hurt, but finishing off the season 256 and 343. So definitely a downturn over the last couple years. 18 home runs, 26 stolen bases. He's still getting on base, 11 triples. He got hurt those last few games, but just not as many hits. 992 fielding, only 5 errors this year. Doesn't win a Gold Glove or Silver Slugger. Doesn't make the All-Star team either, unfortunately. It just looks like a downturn. He's now down to a 92 overall. I think this is going to be the slow kind of downfall as he's getting a bit older now. He's only got a couple years left on his final contract, or on his big contract. So we'll see what happens in 2043. Yeah, I'm going to keep simming here. We're going to sim through the next couple seasons unless something drastic changes and we have a deep playoff run. I'll see you at the end of his career. And here we are at the end of the 2043 season. I chose this season because this is the final year of his big contract that he got with the Astros all the way back in like it would have been like 2031 is when he got. But actually, the Brewers made the playoffs. They are the 5th seed. They finished 88 and 74. Is he not on the team anymore? No, he is. He's a 77 overall. He fell off really hard. I mean, he's 36. 18. This is year 19 for him. Taking a look at the last few years since he's been here, I mean, still averages have been fine, like 260, 250, even on these kind of fall off years. Yeah, he's not at the prime of his career, but I mean, he's had a 22, he's averaging around like 20 home runs. This year, a little less at 10, but still 8 triples, 29 doubles, 19 stolen bases, 317, 415 slugging, 732 OPS. He's fallen off. He's older. Hasn't really done anything. No All-Star appearances, Gold Gloves, Silver Sluggers, or any other awards, but maybe he can be carried to his first World Series. Let's go ahead and see if we can do it. First game they win against the Marlins. Can they win 2 straight? Nope. Can they win a 3rd? They lose in the wild card again. I think it's destiny that Konnor Griffin, at least in this simulation, just cannot make it past the NLDS. Nonetheless, the wild card. After this long of a career, 19 years, maybe he's calling it quits after this year. We'll find out. So it looks like Konnor Griffin is staying for another season. He is a free agent. Let's see if he stays with the Brewers or ends up somewhere else. Well, I don't know what it is with Konnor Griffin and just wanting to be in the same 3 teams, but Konnor Griffin has signed with the Houston Astros again. 2-year, $22 million deal. He's a 77 overall. I can only imagine he's going to keep going down from here. So we'll go ahead and simulate till he either retires or gets to the end of his contract. He has retired. Konnor Griffin has finally retired. I can't tell you guys how long I've been waiting for this. Like, this is no hate. It's that he has spent the last 4 years playing AA ball and single A ball for absolutely no reason. But after those 4 years, looking at his entire career, starting all the way in 2025, technically 2026, but obviously the game doesn't let you start there. Starting in Pittsburgh with a 224 average, just getting his feet wet, all the way till his last season in 2045, where kind of same 3 home runs, only playing 51 games. Those last few years, he's just serviceable, a guy that's going to get on base a decent average, maybe hit a home run for you, hit a lot of triples, finished his career with 123 triples. That's insane. 354 home runs, almost 3,000 hits, 713 doubles, but he was a serviceable guy, one of the best shortstops, great fielder, finishing with a .989 fielding percentage, only 123 errors, 91 total WAR. I mean, while Konnor Griffin didn't win a World Series, no MVPs, he was a 2-time Silver Slugger, 2-time Gold Glover, 5-time All-Star. Hopefully he doesn't start bouncing around teams at the end of his career, but overall, unfortunately, he couldn't make it to the big game, but he did do a good job and have a great career. They actually gave him I'm actually shocked by this. He actually he didn't make the World Series at all. He wasn't a champion, but they think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Let me know in the comments if you think he deserves to be in the World Series with this stat line. Almost 3,000 hits. He finished with 2,985 hits, which is actually 35th all time, with 354 home runs, 1,237 RBIs, 505 steals, which has him ending up around 39th all time. I mean, solid career all around, long career, was just one of the best shortstops when it comes to just getting on base, getting the job done, being a great fielder. Let me know down in the comments if you think Konnor Griffin deserved to be a Hall of Famer. And also let me know who I should do a career sim on next, whether it's a prospect, restarting someone's career currently, or even restarting a legend. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again in another video.